Hi, so this recipe for ginger cookies is super easy. First, you're going to want to turn your oven on, preheat it to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Then you're going to want to take 3 baking sheets and line them with parchment paper like this. And just to show you the ingredients, stick of butter, half a cup of sugar, half a cup of molasses, like the grandma's molasses here, and I already have it in a little measuring cup. 2.5 cups flour, I have that. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. 1 tablespoon of ginger. Now this can vary. I've had feedback saying that people might not want a whole tablespoon, even though the original recipe had 2 tablespoons. So you can do to your taste, a teaspoon, half a tablespoon, whatever you think works best for you, however spicy you like your ginger. And then a teaspoon of cinnamon and 1 teaspoon of allspice, a really nice dark aromatic spice. So first what we want to do is to cream the butter and sugar together. So I'm just going to unwrap the butter. And I usually soften it up on the counter. I put this out earlier today because it definitely works much better when it's softer. And then we're going to add the sugar. So like I said, half a cup. And we're just going to let that go for a little bit, and you can use the stand mixer like I have here, or just a regular hand mixer, or just mix it up, if you want to try the old-fashioned way with just a spoon and your strength. Okay, and then you add the molasses to the butter and sugar mixture. So here's the molasses. I'm going to dump that in here. This, I love this measuring cup because I can just kind of pop it out like that. It's a really nice feature to have. And then I'm just going to mix that up a little bit more together. And now I need to sift the flour and the spices together. So luckily I already have the flour mixed up here, and then I'm going to put that in first because that's the most of the things that I'm going to be mixing together here. And I also, it's going from the bowl here. And then I put in the baking soda that I had measured out. Here goes the ginger, allspice, and cinnamon. And I am going to mix them up like this, sift it with a sifter. And these are fun to do, and if you have any kids, grandkids, they like to do the sifter, and I just kind of pat it to get it all the way down. There we go. And then I'm going to lift this handle up. And so I had put down some wax paper here to put the spices and the flour that I had sifted, and then you just can kind of go like this to put it in to the bowl. And then when I start it up, I always want to make sure that it's not gonna go at a high speed, because otherwise the flour just will go flying everywhere. So I might do it a little bit like this. There we go. And again, you don't even really need the mixer if you want to mix that a little bit by hand as well, which I'm going to do eventually. But first I want to mix it this way. It's looking really good here. Okay, and then I'm going to stop it. And I just want to get a rubber scraper. Scrape that down. Okay, so we're going to scrape it off of the paddle. All that nice, it smells great with the molasses and the different spices. It really, one of my favorite smells for cookies, and it's the taste and smells, especially when it's baking. Okay, I'm going to put that down and just kind of mix this together a little bit more here. And now you can do one of two things to bake these. You can either scoop it with, this is like a little cookie scoop that I like to use. You can kind of scoop it like this into your hand, roll it into a ball, and then just roll it into sugar, some granulated sugar. And that'll create kind of like a molasses crinkle. You can go ahead and put that there. Or what you can do is roll out the dough and make cookie shapes. So I'll show you that in a minute here. Okay, so you just take some dough, put it into a nice ball shape here, and then put some flour down on the counter, or if you want to use like a pastry covering, you can do that too. And then you just roll it with your rolling pin into a nice square shape. Not too thick, but thick enough that it's going to make a nice kind of chewy cookie. And here I go with, I have a nice flower cookie cutter shape, and I just put that down. And here we go. Oop, let's see. And I usually like to use like a little spatula to lift it up easier. And here you go. There's the nice, oops, flower shape. And I'm going to put that on there. Okay, just to show you what it looks like, this is the dough rolled out, and here I have a flour cookie cutter, and I'm just gonna kind of go like this, and it helps to have like a little spatula on hand to lift it onto the baking sheet. And I'll just make a couple more shapes. This, oop, that's a star. And then just to show you, these are the ones that I've already done too. And then I'm going to go ahead and put them in the oven for about 10 to 12 minutes at the 350 that we've already let the oven start to preheat at. So there we go. When they're done baking, we can pull them out of the oven here. Nice and puffed up. You can see what they look like. Oops, I'm going to put the camera down so you can see. They're really nice and brown, and they puff up, especially the crinkle kind. You can see they look great. And then, I'm just going to close the oven, turn it off. And then once they cool a little bit, you can transfer them over to, to a baking rack to cool off until they're ready to eat. Enjoy!